Hey guys, so I got another one for you. Today we're going to be working on the air conditioning. So I've had problems with the AC on this truck ever since I got it. The initial problem was it had a whole bunch of leaks. So we solved the leaks by putting a new compressor on it. You can see the new shiny bit. And replacing all the O-rings in the lines that were accessible. So now there's no more leaks, but it's still not cooling as well as it should. So what we're going to do today is we're going to replace the orifice tube, which is right here, and that regulates the flow of freon. Obviously, whenever you open the system, you have to replace the filter dryer. And furthermore, we're going to replace the condenser, because it's possible the condenser that's on the truck could be clogged up. But not only that, you can see a lot of the fins are bent over and it's not letting all the air through. So we're going to replace all that. Some of the things you need, obviously, for the lines, you need a 13 mil. What we're going to do, oh yeah, this truck takes 32 ounces of freon. I've got 24 here, so I got to run out to the auto parts store and grab some more. You need a vacuum, because you got to vacuum the system down, and then you need some gauges to refill it. What we're going to start off with is with this T25, nope, T30. We're going to take the grill off, because that is the easiest way to access the condenser. And then we're going to open the hood, and then we're going to stand through the grill opening. So there we go. Alright, so you got 4 T30 bolts holding the grill on. You're going to zip those out. And you give it a slight pull. Actually, it's got clips on the top. What we'll do is break the lines loose. Okay, 13 millimeter. So I've already evacuated the system. There will be a little bit of residual still in there. And there's different ways to evacuate it. Obviously, you want to do it a way that's eco-friendly. You don't want to just release it out into the atmosphere. Alright, let's go in the hood. Okay, so now we're standing in the hood area, and we got a 13 mil down here too. Let's come out. Okay, that one's out. Okay, there she comes. You can see in how bad a shape this guy is. I mean, all these are folded over. Looks pretty rough. So we should see quite an improvement. Okay, then you got the new condenser. Slide it in. ahead and put the grill back on. Get it in. Be careful not to break it because this is flimsy as hell. I'm not even in the middle of my rope. Okay. Good. Now you zip the bolts back down, and you don't want to over tighten it because it is plastic. Alright, so here's the orifice tube removal. It's another 13 millimeter. There's another one hidden down there. Get that out as well. That out. Then you got to unhook your electrical fitting. You want to squeeze on it as you pull off, and then you're ready to pull it apart. Woo. See, there's always going to be a little bit of residual crap in there, and it's possible one of the reasons that the system doesn't work so well is I put stop leak in it. That's all the green stuff, so that could have hurt it. But you can see the orifice tube is way down in there. Have to get a pick. Funny enough, I can't really get it out, but that's okay because we got a brand new one. Before we do that, we're going to replace the filter dryer because that will be in the way if we don't. So on the bottom also, pull that all off. Okay, and you want to pull your electrical fitting off at the top. There you go. Undo these lines. 13 millimeter. There's the line connection all the way in the bottom. Pull that out, and then you'll be able to slide the whole thing out. Okay, you unhook the bottom one there. That allows it to slide down, and you can unhook this one somewhat easy. Okay. You can see there's a bunch of crap in there, so this is no good. And just like before, you want to replace these guys all throughout. Pull this whole line off. Again, replace all the O-rings. Even if you just recently replaced them, it's still, for peace of mind, just replace it every time you pull it off. It is not worth the hassle of having to recharge everything again and going back in there. So okay, so we've got our new Orifice tube and our new hard line. And the way you put it in is you always put the purple or the long filter side facing towards the evaporator. So the evaporator is obviously inside the cab. So since this thing sits like this on the truck, right, this will be pointing towards the inside of the cab. So you just slide it in. Okay, so we've got our expansion tube down in there. You just want to slide it all the way down as far as you can, just like that. Actually, we'll go a little further because the old one was much further down. You don't want to go too much further though. Just want to go past the sealing surface of, there we go, past the sealing surface of the fitting there. So that's in there, and so you've got your electrical fitting here, your sensor. I already took that off of the old one, cleaned it up, put a new O-ring on it. So we shall just screw that down in there and tighten her down. We'll get it nice and snug. Doesn't have to be too tight. Okay, so now from your old filter dryer, you have to take this sensor off also. And transfer it to your new filter dryer. Well, that one was tight. Anyway, you undo it all. Put it on your new one. Put the new guy in there. Tighten it down. Again, not stupid tight. Obviously, you don't want to strip anything out or break it, but tight enough. Slide this guy. Okay. We shall just put a bolt in here just to hold this guy up. All of our new fittings, all of our new O-rings. fucking mess. Slide this guy up over. Like such. Okay. And we'll slide that in. Slide that in. You put your nuts on here. Okay, that's tight. Now we are ready for the orifice tube to go on. Goes on like such. Right in there. And this guy is very flexible. Actually, we'll do this one first. Give us wiggle room. Okay. All right. Just tighten everything up. Nice and tight. Okay. And then your clamp, like such, I guess, to further eliminate vibrations or what have you. Okay. There's a whole bunch of crud in there. Then you connect your electrical fitting. And you are done. Okay, so we got all the gauges hooked up. And we've got our vacuum pump right there, using the trash can and the old condenser as a makeshift table. So the way I like to do it, there's several ways you can do it. Some people just hook up the vacuum pump to the low side. I hook it up to the high side as well, so you're pulling from both directions, or from both sides. And what you want to do is you want to pull a vacuum on it, because you want to get all the moisture or any sort of contaminants or air out of the system, because when you recharge, you want it straight freon. You don't want any air in there. That'll prevent it from taking a full charge. So everything is open, all the gauges are open. Just flip this bad boy on, and then you can see the gauges pull into the vacuum slowly. And then you want to let this thing run for at least 30 minutes. I'll probably let it go for an hour, because I got to run to the car parts store to get some Freon. But just let it run, and then when you come back to it, well, I guess I'll show you then, but when you come back to it, you want to make sure that you close off all your fittings so that you don't accidentally introduce air back into the system. So, yep. Going below 0, so that's fine. So yeah, we're gonna run over to the parts store and get some more Freon. All right, so we went out and we got some refrigerant. Stuff's expensive. It was $110 for 3 cans. The truck takes 32 ounces, I think it is, and between these two it's 33. So don't mind the smoking. That's just it's not actual smoke. That's hydraulic oil from this thing evaporating. So it's ran for about an hour, and you can see we're pretty stable. So what we'll do is we'll close this stuff off. Turn off the vacuum pump. Replace this fitting with a fitting that will fit onto the end of the Freon bottles. Once you start filling, you want to watch your gauges, and there's a graph that you can find online. A rule of thumb is your high side pressure is generally 3 times ambient. So it's 85 degrees in here, so it should be around what, 250-ish. So here's the chart. You can just Google it real quick. It's pretty easy. So it gives you your low side pressures and your high side pressures. So we shall fire it up and see what happens. Different method to fill. This is shit. These gauges don't work. We're going to use this guy. Same general idea. According to the graph, 45 to 50 is full for the temperature range that we need right now. Compressor just turned on, so we're good there. nice and cold. Blowing 50 degrees right now, which is really good considering it's 90 in the shop. So that's a lot better than it was. So we're gonna leave it how it is. We'll grab it around and see how it does. Check the pressures again a little later. Alright, so we've sat in the truck here for a little bit, and we're showing about 55 degrees ish on the dial, and considering it's 90 degrees in the shop, I would call that fixed. So should be good to go.